What's up, everyone? Mr. YouTube Gamer, giving you guys another Call of Duty World War II gameplay commentary, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Usually I play the 6v6 modes like TDM, Kill Confirmed, Domination, but for today I thought I'd change things up a bit and play some War Mode from Call of Duty World War II, which doesn't play very much like a traditional Call of Duty game. Call of Duty World War II is a game that was often criticized for not really doing anything different, for being the same thing as all the other Call of Duty games, and just being nothing special. But World War II was a huge change from what we're used to seeing in Call of Duty, where you have these large-scale maps that are very objective-focused. I mean, we've always had ground war in the past, and we had war mode in World at War, but none of that really played anything like this. I mean, ground war was just like the same maps in the base game, just with more players. And some maps it worked, other maps like Shipment, it was a nightmare, right? So, yeah, I think War Mode, they tried, I'll give Sledgehammer credit, they tried to do something different. I really don't think it resonated with a lot of people, unfortunately, and I know a lot of people, including myself, were really pissed off that Sledgehammer only gave us 3 multiplayer maps instead of the 4 that we usually got with each DLC. So, 3 multiplayer maps, every map pack. People were pissed off because they felt like it wasn't enough content, and even though instead of that 4th map, we got a new War Mode map instead, the problem was there were a lot of people that didn't really care much for War Mode, so they felt like they got less of a value with their DLC than they did in other Call of Duty games. And yeah, I would agree that War Mode is really nothing special. I really didn't care much for it. I still don't. The only reason why I'm making this video is just because I thought it would be interesting. I just thought it'd be something different, even though I don't really care much for it. I'll tell you guys why I personally didn't like War Mode, and I think a lot of you will agree with me, at least those of you that don't like War Mode 2, is that War Mode, when these maps, the way that it's structured, the way that it goes with capturing the objectives or defending the objectives, whatever you gotta do in each map, like each map has different objectives and different things you gotta do. But when we're talking about the individual maps, like Operation Neptune, you play Operation Neptune once, you pretty much played it 20,000 fucking times, because there's no variety, there's no replayability, because you're doing the same fucking shit every single game. It just gets so boring after a while. Like, why would I want to keep playing this shit when there's just no variety? There's no way that you can play that's different every single time. The maps are so fucking linear that you're always doing the same exact thing every single game. That's very different from multiplayer, where the way the maps are designed, there are different ways you can flank, there are different ways you can get around the map, and map knowledge really pays off in that way, because if you know the map very well, you can take advantage of that, and there are a lot of different ways that the map can be played and enjoyed, especially when we're talking about different game modes. That's the thing about the regular multiplayer maps, is that you have one map, but you also have all these different modes that you can play. You have TDM, Domination, Kill Confirmed, and even those individual game modes like Domination, there are different flags you can capture, there are different strategies you could take. Like, it's just so fun because of that variety that you have in regular multiplayer. It just doesn't exist in War Mode. It's so fucking static. Like, there is no way that you can change things up in War Mode. It's like Sledgehammer tells you how you can play this shit, and you can't really deviate too much from that, because then you'll fail the objective, right? So, yeah, I think that War Mode, honestly, wasn't very memorable. It wasn't a great experience. Not that it was bad. It was just way too repetitive and not that interesting overall. As much as I hate Modern Warfare 2019, I keep saying I think it's the worst COD of all time, I would at least admit that the Ground War mode in Modern Warfare was a lot better and a lot more fun to play than War Mode in World War II. Because the thing about Ground War is that you had 64 players, you had these really huge maps. They felt like sandboxes, sort of like Battlefield, although not quite like Battlefield, because Battlefield had destructibility, you had a lot more vehicles that you can do, like jets and everything. But you can tell that Infinity Ward took a lot of inspiration from Battlefield when they developed Ground War. The thing about Ground War, even though I wasn't too much into it, I didn't think it was amazing, it was still a lot more fun to play than War Mode, because you had those different flags that you can capture. You had more ways to explore the map than War Mode, where it's all just linear shit. Every single fucking game feels exactly the same. So I think at least with Ground War, you don't have that shit. It actually does have that replayability that I feel like is very much needed in any multiplayer experience, not just Call of Duty. Like, you need to feel like every game feels unique and different, and not just you repeating the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. Like, after a while, it gets fucking boring. So I hope that with Sledgehammer's game this year that's coming out, I hope that they don't just do another war mode, because that wouldn't be very interesting. It seems like that's what we've been getting over the past few years. Every single new Call of Duty game, they build a brand new large-scale game mode out of scratch. Because, you know, before then, in the older games like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1, Ground War was pretty much just taking the maps in regular multiplayer, regular 6v6, and just putting more people in it. Now it seems like the new thing that we're seeing in the Call of Duty series is that every single game is going to be a new, fresh experience built from scratch. That's what we saw with War Mode. That's what we saw with Ground War in Modern Warfare, and also Fireteam in Black Ops Cold War. I'm not going to count the Battle Royale bullshit. So you can bet that Sledgehammer is definitely working on another large-scale game mode for their next Call of Duty game. It's supposed to be called World War II Vanguard. That's the leaked title for their game. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what they're going to do if they just do another war mode. That would be very uninteresting. I hope they just honestly take Ground War from Modern Warfare and put a World War II skin on it. That's pretty much what World War II Vanguard is supposed to be, apparently, from some of the leaks I've seen. It's going to be using the Modern Warfare engine, and it's pretty much going to be the same gameplay, the same overall presentation of Modern Warfare, just with a World War II layout. So I guess if you're going to do that, you might as well also give us Ground War, because Ground War was actually pretty good in Modern Warfare. The 6v6 in Modern Warfare was fucking horrendous, the worst multiplayer in Call of Duty history, but the Ground War was actually fun. With World War II, though, it was the opposite. It had an amazing 6v6 multiplayer, but their war mode was awful. It's like we can't get both in a Call of Duty game. You have to have one thing about the game that is shit. You can never have, like, the entire game being good. And I think that's a problem that we've been seeing in Call of Duty lately. They've been, you know, experimenting, doing different things, which is okay, but I feel like that's to the detriment of what makes Call of Duty special, which is this 6v6 multiplayer. That's what put Call of Duty on the map. That's what Call of Duty is. So I have a fear that, you know, if they work too hard, if they do too much working on these other game modes, that it kind of takes away from the core experience. I feel like with Modern Warfare, they were doing too many things. They didn't have, like, a single solid gameplay experience as a result. Even Ground War wasn't really anything special. It was fun, but it wasn't, like, anything special. So I think it would be for the best if, honestly, in the future, they just focus completely on 6v6 or whatever they're gonna do, instead of just having all these different fucking game modes and shit at once. It really dilutes the experience, because that takes resources away from, you know, making that one mode really special and, you know, making it a refined experience when you're just working on so many different things at once. You know, it's like, it's not going to be as solid, it's not going to be as smooth as, you know, if they just did one thing and one thing only. I get the idea that, oh, you know, it's good for them to do different things because it keeps things fresh, it keeps things interesting, but to be honest, what they've been doing isn't really that special. Like, War Mode is a very forgettable experience. Same thing with, Ground War, Modern Warfare, it's good, but it's not something that's, like, game-changing, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh my god, this is such a unique and innovative experience. No, it's like bootleg Battlefield. If we're gonna be honest, that's what fucking Ground War is. And was it worth taking away resources from traditional 6v6 to work on Ground War? I don't think so. Like, I get it, they're trying to compete with Battlefield and take players away from Battlefield, and 2019 was a great moment to do that, since Battlefield 5 was probably the worst game in Battlefield history. I think that actually worked. I think some people converted from Battlefield to Call of Duty as a result. So it's good business. I'm not going to argue that what they're doing doesn't make any business sense, because it's obviously working for them. But I'm just saying, from the perspective of a player, especially someone who grew up with Call of Duty, I've been playing since Modern Warfare 2, I don't want them to take away from 6v6 and make it, you know, less special, and make it just not work on it as much and give it the love and attention it deserves in order to work on other shit instead. I'm not a fan of that, but that's something we've been seeing. We've been seeing them kind of focus away from 6v6, and that makes me really sad. I love 6v6 multiplayer. 6v6 is the reason why I got into Call of Duty in the first place, and I don't want to see it die. I don't want to see it go away in favor of other shit to replace it, like Battle Royale or Ground War, whatever we're talking about here. I want 6v6 to stay, like, to be the focus of Call of Duty. I want to give it to you guys this way, okay? Because there are a lot of Battle Royale fans that love Warzone, and they're happy that this shit is doing so well. Well, what if, you guys are probably into Fortnite, these fucking Battle Royale 13-year-old kids that love Warzone, they probably play Fortnite too. What if Fortnite became a 6v6 multiplayer? Would you guys like that very much if they made a 6v6 and took away from the Battle Royale as a result? You guys are bitching and complaining. So think about it from my perspective as someone who grew up with 6v6 and who loves to play Team Deathmatch and the other 6v6 game modes. I know I say 6v6 like 20,000 fucking times in this commentary. That would be a fun drinking game. Take a shot every time I say 6v6. But I say it for a reason, because I feel like the traditional COD experience has been fading away over time. And it's not even like what it's being replaced with is anything great. I mean, there's a reason why War Mode in World War II doesn't even have full lobbies in 2021. I was playing this Sunday afternoon, peak times. I was able to find full matches of regular World War II. I was able to get into Team Deathmatch, Domination, Kill Confirmed, any game mode you can think of. I was able to get into that shit instantly. But War Mode, I think it was 6v6. That was the most that we got out of this game. And as you guys know, War Mode supports up to 18 players. So I think that says a lot that it doesn't really have much of a player base in 2021. And people might argue, well, World War II is a 4-year-old game. People were playing it back then. But, I mean, it just shows that what I've been saying, all the criticism I've had against War Mode is pretty accurate. It doesn't have that replayability. It doesn't have a reason to go back to. Now, that isn't to say that they didn't do anything right with War Mode. You could tell that Sledgehammer clearly put a lot of time and effort into this mode. I think it was really smart of them to not have your KD be affected by your performance in War Mode. So if you got, like, I don't know, 20 kills and 40 deaths, that didn't apply to your KD in regular multiplayer. It had no effect on it. That was a really good thing they did, because it encouraged people to play the objective more and to not be afraid of doing that. But overall, it really wasn't anything amazing. I wouldn't even recommend you play it in 2021. Even if you never played it before, you just want to check it out of curiosity, I wouldn't bother. I mean, if you want to play it once or twice, be my guest, but the regular multiplayer is a lot more enjoyable and a lot more fun. War Mode doesn't even make sense, because my team lost even though this was the second round. Our team won the first round. We successfully attacked, but in the second round, we couldn't defend, so we lose the entire match? That makes no fucking sense. It should be a tie, not a defeat. We won the last one. We lost this one. But, I don't know. Just, I wouldn't recommend you check out War Mode in 2021, especially with these fucking rules making no sense. How do you lose an entire game that's only 2 rounds and you won the last round? It's fucking bullshit. That's what it is. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What you guys think about War Mode, if you played it before. What were your impressions with it? And do you still play it in 2021? But that's all I got for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.